Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah from Pies and Pros, and if you're not new here, you know that every intro that I make is slightly different because I have no idea how to do intros. Today's video is going to be about vegan camping food. Now I put that in quotations because as you saw from my last video at my getaway trip, it's not exactly camping, like there's no tents. It's more of like glamping because I'm in a tiny cabin. In a very specific outpost. But I did want to show you what I ate when I was there. Just to note, everything that I am making in this video is vegan because I am vegan, and majority of the items I made on a hot plate that was provided at the getaway house, but I'm pretty sure that if you only had an open fire and some sort of grating system, you could possibly make these things anyway. So I think it's very camping friendly. I will also say that we ordered takeout one time while we were there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say for now. Hope you enjoy. Hey y'all, sorry for the wonky lighting, but it is what it is when you're in a cabin. I actually wanted to show you what is in our fridge, or a mini fridge for this trip. So let's do that first. So first of all, that's what the fridge looks like. It's so cute. It's kind of like built into the structure at the bottom. So let's go right in. It's pretty small, but it's got a lot of space for what we need, especially since we're only here for a weekend. As you can see on the top, this is a drawer case, so it's sort of like the freezer. And I have some Beyond sausage, which we're gonna have tomorrow for dinner. You'll see that. And then in this mysterious bit of foil is actually some frozen hash browns, so that's going to be a breakfast item. We have some vodka, and then we also have some chaser, which is lemon and lime seltzer. Sorry for the lighting, but maybe this is better. We have some veggie bacon. This is also going to be for multiple dishes. You'll see that. This little guy is some almond and coconut milk creamer. I just put a little bit in a mason jar because I didn't feel like I needed to bring a giant bottle. In the fresh keeper, we have a bell pepper. I'm about to use that. On the door here is where we have majority of stuff. So down here we have some ketchup, some vegan mayo, some red chili sauce. I never had this before, and I know it's Wegmans brand, but looks good. Might try it. We have sweet relish, and then we have some just egg. On the top, we have this plant-based Fiery Jack cheese shreds. This stuff is really good. We're gonna use that just now too. Then we have vegan butter. And last thing is this Comrade Cluck No Evil Plant Meat. It's basically shredded chicken, or vegan shredded chicken. We've never had it before, but we're gonna use this for our quesadillas. And that's pretty much it. It's actually pretty full. Oh, actually, we have a sweet onion and we have a potato. So I think that's pretty much it that we brought. And then of course they have some of the basic seasonings. They have some snacks up there. Oh, those chips are ours. And yeah, it should be enough to cook up enough meals for the weekend. All right, so for our first dinner of the trip, we decided to make some vegan quesadillas, and I've actually never had a vegan quesadilla before, so this was our first attempt ever. And I just chopped up some bell pepper and onion to go inside of the quesadilla. We used that Comrade Cluck chicken, which I've never had before, and we kind of liked it. It wasn't amazing, but we used that as the filling, as well as that Fiery Jack cheese. And then we were supposed to do this over the fire, but we ended up just doing it inside because we didn't want any spillage outside. And it came out really well. I was super impressed with this, and that cheese is really bomb. I'll link it below. It's really nice and ooey gooey, as you can see, and I think it made the dish, honestly. That cheese just made it so delicious. We also had it with that Wegmans chili sauce that I mentioned before. And it wasn't too flavorful, but I think it was nice and creamy and a nice little bit of kick of flavor, so I did like it. For breakfast the next day, we had a potato hash, so I just finely diced up some potato, or one potato, and leftover bell pepper as well as leftover onion. I really wanted to get rid of that, so I used that as well. We used some of the leftover Comrade Cluck chicken and vegan butter to sort of warm the pan, and then add the potatoes in with some salt and pepper for seasoning. And then once those got like to a good point, I added the rest of the ingredients and sort of just turned them all together, got them heated through and toasty. And I think that was pretty much it that I added in there. Yes. Oh, I added some cheese on top. And so I was basically trying to get rid of a lot of ingredients so that I wouldn't have to bring them home. And yeah, so I just added those into the hash. And as you can see here, I'm making a cup of coffee for Ian and I. And these Kuju packets, they come at the Getaway house and they're amazing. So they're pour overs, but they're single use. And you just add that contraption on top of the cup, pour hot water into that single ground area, and it pours like a pour over. And I really like them. We use them every time that we go there, and I just think that they're really convenient. And yeah, all you do is just pour the stuff in there. Once you get your full cup, you take the bit out on top, and you're good to go. So we had that with our hash, and we had the almond coconut creamer on the side with a little bit of sugar. Ian likes sugar, I do not, but he had some of that. And the hash came out really well. I love that I added that cheese on top. It gave it a nice creamy element. And I thought that this wasn't going to be satisfying enough for our breakfast. I thought it might needed like some toast or something, but it was actually really good. We, as you'll see in a moment, I added a little bit of ketchup on top, and I felt like it was the essential and perfect like campfire type food. So then for lunch, we headed to Woodstock, which is actually just a 30-minute drive away from where we were. And we decided to go to a place called the Garden Cafe. Yes, and Ian got some spicy chili tofu with brown rice and marinated kale. He said it was absolutely amazing, and I had a bite. I agree with him. And for me, I had a portobello panini, which tasted like a pizza. So Ian thought that there was cheese in there. It was actually, there was no cheese, of course, but there was a garlic aioli that made it nice and creamy and cheesy. And yeah, it was so bomb. If you're ever in the Woodstock area, you have to try it. They loaded it up with delicious mushrooms. So this is our last dinner, and it was the only meal that we made on an open fire while we were there, which is hilarious, but it's beyond sausages that we heated up. And I was shocked at how successful this came out. I was afraid that the fire wasn't going to be hot enough to actually cook them, but as you'll see, it cooks really well. Like, you can see browning on the edges, it's like oozing. It came out really very well. So we just put those into some buns with some toppings. I put ketchup, mayo, and relish, and they came out really well. I think it was also a perfect campfire type meal, and we had it with some barbecue chips on the side. For our last breakfast, we did a just egg bacon meal with some potato hash. So basically, I'm using up those onions and peppers into the egg mixture, but I'm also toasting up some vegan bacon. As you can see, I put the just egg with salt, pepper, onion, and bell pepper, cook that up until it was ready to go. And yeah, I had some potato hash on the side. I guess I didn't get that clip, but I definitely heated that up as well and just put everything on a plate. As you can see, Ian has double the amount that I have, but of course that is to be expected. And this came out really well. It was so delicious and filling, and just a perfect way to end everything off on our little weekend trip. And of course we had coffee on the side, and I drizzled stuff on because I always do. All right, y'all, that was it for my what I ate while camping on a weekend in the cabin in the woods sort of video. I hope it was interesting. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that you can make all of these recipes with the exception of the takeout on a campfire, as long as you have like a grating system. By that, like if you saw the clip where I had the Beyond sausages, you can see that there is like a grate on top of the open fire so that you can sort of line it with foil and put your food on top so your food's not like actually being hit by direct fire. And if you want recipes for any of the things that I made, they're pretty straightforward, but if you do want recipes, let me know. I am building a food website right now, like a food blog. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's actually going to be the last getaway video that you see from me in a while. As you know, traveling isn't quite frequent as it once was. I will see you next week with another video. I'm pretty sure that video that's coming out next week is going to be a social media tips video, which is part of my social media workshop series that I have right now. So I know a lot of you are really excited for those kinds of videos. If you want to see that, definitely subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.